we do have one last question related to AI and tech. So in what ways have you seen AI being used to enhance engagement and a sense of belonging among Gen Z employees within the organization? And we are looking at certain B2B apps, in this case, apps such as Culture AMP, Better Up, Ace Up, and of course, Sherlock Supercoach, the sponsor of the podcast. If you're comfortable talking about that, we would love to hear your perspectives there too.
Great question. And I think there's no question, as we mentioned, coaching is now being powered and enhanced through AI. And it's no difference in mental health companies that we just mentioned. So I think there's a really incredible opportunity ahead for companies to engage with place like Sherlock Coaching, Super Coaching, as well as other companies that you mentioned, to really utilize, again, it's data and feedback and moment to moment feedback from their professionals that is incredibly hard to capture, because managers are so busy. Often they don't have time to go to every single one of their team members to say, so what did you think about the all company, meeting?
Mhm.
How did that impact your sense of understanding our vision, how we're making progress, and your own sense of engagement? Of course, there's been traditional survey that's often done. Even then, usually the return rate or completion rate is pretty low. I think what's really powerful about some of these tools that we're talking about is that there is an opportunity for much more real-time feedback, and to be able to adapt and ask a following question depending on how responders to answer. That was not available before. And that's the limitation of the sort of a static one-time survey. So I do see a lot of opportunities for companies to engage with the companies that you mentioned, and to see it's really, I really, even though it is technology driven, it really is a tool. It's not a sort of end in itself, but it is a tool to actually understand the experience of their professionals who are really at the heart of the company. And to really, if we see those tools as an opportunity to really understand and support, I think it creates a lot of opportunity for us to both make this a two-way communication tool, to communicate to what is important and the commitment of the company to the professionals, and invite them to give feedback and suggestions that I think can be incorporated into what companies offer and how they want to support their employees, and create a sense of really belonging and collective sense of we're really in this together to work towards a common goal.
Absolutely. I love when you mentioned like the app is learning more about the personality, the behaviors of the Gen Z employees, really any employee. And I was thinking about back in the old days is conditional formatting within Excel. Then survey apps came out, it was conditional statement and you have to pay premium fees. And now with AI, it's so tailored, it's so individualized to the person's needs. And like you said, if somebody just 500 people were 200 Gen Z employees just left a all hands meeting, and to engage with them about what are the follow-ups, what are the next steps, what's your take on that. You have to ask these questions not in a general sense through a general survey that's really long and dry and rating 0 to 10, but to engage with them to see how they actually felt, how they're going to want to do something the same or differently. And I think that will be so interesting to understand and hopefully later to measure as well. Yeah, thank you so much, Julie. Thank you so much for your time. This has been a really lovely and lively conversation. We so appreciate your expertise and joining us on the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure. Faye, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find it helpful. We'll soon be back with our next podcast. In the meantime, please share this episode with your friends and colleagues.